Why do I look so weird with my hair flopped to this side? Flip-flop it to this side, and I'm totally fine with it. Sort of. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I'm Leanne. If you don't know me, if you do know me and you're back, thank you so much. I'm glad to have you guys back. And today we're gonna be taking my hair from long, blonde, and boring, what it's been for a very, very long time, and we're making it pink. This color transformation was inspired by Instagram. They gave me one of those little notifications. I was like, remember when? Apparently, almost exactly 3 years ago, I had pink hair, and I decided I want it back. I haven't done a fun color since then. I've had purple, I've had red, I've had black, I've had blonde, obviously. I've tried a lot of different colors. I'm definitely not shy about trying different colors, but I've been stuck in this blonde rut for a very, very long time, and it's pretty boring. And obviously, as you can see, I haven't had it touched up in a really long time. I think it's been like 5 months, and I think I'm gonna go another month. So it's the perfect time to have some fun with my color. I'm gonna go for kind of like a pastel pink. I have 2 different color products. I have the Arctic Fox Electric Paradise, which is more of a corally pink, and then I have the Bright Instant Color in Pastel Pink, which is more like a classic bubblegum pink. I'm gonna mix these together, and I'm also gonna be using some conditioner to dilute it to make it more of a light pastel color. Really, I don't know how this is gonna go. We're gonna see together, but I feel like it's gonna be just a fun change. We're gonna mix it up. And also, as I dye my hair and as my color processes, I'm gonna be going into my Instagram and answering some questions that you guys sent me, either about me, about life, whatever. Let's chat about life, color my hair. I don't know what to call this video. Chatty color my hair with me. Somebody actually suggested that I call it Make Mistakes with Me. I see where you're coming from, but I really hope it's not a mistake. I don't think it'll be a mistake. It's just for fun, and honestly, I think pink is one of the easiest, safest color choices because it really doesn't last that long usually. I've never tried either of these brands, so I could be wrong. Let's see. All right, so I'm just getting ready to mix up my color. I've got my gloves on, and obviously I have taken the necessary precautions. I've colored my hair at home enough to know I cannot be trusted. And I laid down like a full drop cloth plastic sheet over the whole countertop because I don't want to mess around with that. Okay, first we're just gonna start out with a generous amount of conditioner. Grant said I could use his. Hopefully he meant that. I'd much rather start out with too much color than not enough because it might be hard to replicate the same shade if I have to mix more. These purple gloves really inspire me to hand model. I don't know what it is. This kind of looks like cottage cheese. That's unappealing. Okay, now we're gonna go in first with the Arctic Fox. See how that goes. This stuff smells so good. I opened the box. While it was sealed, it smelled so good. Oh, whoa, that looks quite orange. Oh my gosh, that's like neon orange. I love it. Okay, let's try some of our bright pastel pink. Let's give a generous amount. And then a little more of this. This isn't working. I got a plastic spoon. Okay, I've added both colors a little bit at a time, and I think this is a really nice shade. It is a very neon flamingo color. I don't know how true to color the camera is picking it up, but I think I like this color. I don't want it to be too light and fade super fast, but I also don't want it to be too dark. I think this is good. All right, I'm parting my hair down the middle. I've got my color ready. I guess it's time to get started. How am I gonna do this? I'm just gonna get it on my hair. Yeah, that's actually the whole plan. All right, I'm sectioning my hair off, trying to do the right thing, trying not to do it messy, even though messy is what is in my blood. It's what comes naturally to me, but I've watched many Brad Mondo videos, so hopefully we're going a new direction. I am probably gonna dye all of my skin in the process, so be prepared for that. I can't tell what the camera is picking up. It looks like there's just a body on the bed right now. Grant is in the background, just chilling, looking at his phone. You come to observe?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm losing track. It just gets out of hand so fast. I don't know how much I really need to go onto my roots because my roots are brown, so I don't think that's gonna take color anyway. You wanna help me, Grant?
Yeah.
Grant's putting on gloves. So that feels juicy. Wait, you wanna try the other side?
Sure.
I'm nervous for everyone in this room right now. Okay, let's answer a question. I always go back and forth on whether I should say the names when I answer questions. I'm not gonna say the names, just, you know, privacy. So, first question, when are you getting Luna a fur sibling? She needs one. My 2 chihuahuas said so. I respect that. I hear that. I actually feel that way too, but there's someone else that doesn't feel that way, and it's Grant. And I totally see where he's coming from. Luna is kind of a lot to handle, and we love her so much, and she is enough dog for us at this time. There are definitely moments where I really want another dog, but every time I bring it up with Grant, he's like, maybe not right now, maybe in the future. So that's definitely something that could happen in the future, but right now we're thinking baby more than we're thinking dog. And I don't think we need a new baby and a dog. Definitely not. Ooh, very nice. Okay, let's do another question. I did not anticipate Grant helping me with this part. Like, I knew I was gonna need help on the back of the back, like the middle part of the back, but this part, I mean, this is really helping me answer my questions. Ooh, actually, while you're here, let's bring up this question. My boyfriend got into med school in Houston and I'm moving with him. Any advice? I'm super nervous. And I kind of don't know if she means any advice for moving to Houston or about her boyfriend starting med school and they're moving in together, which sounds like two major life changes that I would definitely be nervous about too. But Grant, do you have any tips about being a significant other when the other one is starting medical school?
I would give you this advice. I would find somewhere fun to live rather than closer to one of the medical schools, just because it's nicer to be closer to fun stuff when you do have time off.
We can actually be specific.
I think somewhere like kind of Montrose area or the Heights or something like that. And there's a lot to do there, restaurants, bars, stuff like that. Hopefully you're somebody that kind of is independent, I guess. I would encourage you to kind of, go out, find your own friends, find your own fun stuff to do, hobbies, stuff like that, because he's probably going to be studying a lot and busy with a lot of stuff a lot of the time. And so it'll just be less stress on him and you if you are able to
fill your time.
And
so he doesn't feel guilty when he is stuck working or stuck studying.
Right.
That's something that Grant and I went through a little bit, even though I was not dating him during medical school, but I did start dating him while he was in residency in Houston, and he was spread really thin. I mean, I did catch him in the moments where residency was a little bit easier and it had been harder in the years before. So I was lucky for that, but it was still hard, and I saw how hard it was for him. And I did see that kind of like push and pull kind of thing where he felt a little bit torn. He just started dating this girl, but at the same time, he needs to sleep, he needs to eat, and he needs to work and study. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm really pink already. Let's keep going. I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah.
So Grant's gonna do it the right way, and I'm gonna do it the wrong way. Trying to look for some questions that would be more fun for both of us to answer. Okay, here's a really good one. What's the first thing other than visiting your parents that you and Grantaroni are gonna do once all this is over? So I'm thinking that the things that we most miss doing that we haven't been able to do for the past few months are going to shows and going to movies. We actually had a few tickets to concerts that have come and gone and not happened, which has been sad, but hopefully they'll reschedule. We'll see. Is there anything else you can think of?
Go to Six Flags, maybe?
Oh yeah, going to Six Flags or like going to Disney. Oh, we didn't have any plans to go to Disney, but we've still been steadily watching Disney videos. It's just like, it would be so fun.
Yeah.
But I think that's it. We've actually really been enjoying our time at home.
You're making the most of it. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah, we've been making the most of it, having fun, dyeing my hair pink. This drop cloth was extremely necessary, let me tell you, if you decide to embark on this project at home. Okay, here's another one for us. How has your journey with trying to conceive affected your marriage, positive and negative?
I think it's been positive.
I think it's definitely been positive and negative, but probably more positive than negative, luckily. I mean, at this point at least. I do think that it's helped us, I don't know, like conquer things. I think we are at our best when we have a mission, and this has obviously been a mission. It's been a mission that obviously we don't have a lot of control over, but it's been something that we've attacked together, and I think that's been something that's helped us grow together. But of course, there have been negative aspects to it. It's really stressful. It's a stressor that you would not have in your relationship if you weren't trying to conceive and going through fertility treatments. You're taking medicines that can make you feel more stressed out than you normally would. You can be more upset, more irritable because of the medicine. and there's a lot of time sensitive stuff. There's a lot of deadlines and you have to go to a ton of appointments. So it's just piling a whole extra piece of pie onto your plate, into your life that you didn't have to deal with before. And there are a lot of disappointments that can happen along the way. And so obviously those are just negative things that you have to deal with together, and it can be stressful, and it's not all positive, of course. But I will say that we both have a pretty positive outlook on it, and we both feel like it's gonna happen, it's gonna work. We're feeling positive, we're feeling like we can do this.
Yeah.
Like I said about the mission,
Upbeat.
good vibes only.
All right, this looks pretty good, yeah.
Oh my gosh, we're getting through this so much faster than I thought. Is this good right back here?
Mondo Jr.
Brad Mondo Jr., watch out. Ooh, here's a question for me, but you can answer it too if you want.
Okay.
Favorite quarantine snacks? For me, wisps and guacamole, preferably together, but I'll take wisps alone or guacamole alone any day. And also pecans, or praline pecans from Costco in the big jar. Ooh, I can eat those all day. At least 8 times a day, I pass by the pantry and just go in and get a little handful. Like, I cannot be stopped. They are so good. Do you have a favorite quarantine snack?
Pepperonis. All right, I think we're good so far. Juicy.
Juicy.
How long do you have to leave it in?
Let me look at the bottle. Leave in here for at least 30 minutes. But I saw somebody in a video say 45 minutes, so I'll probably do like 45 minutes, maybe an hour, I don't know. All right, here we go. Home stretch. Home stretcheroni. Oh my gosh, I have so much extra color. I'm gonna have to bottle this and save it.
For what, touch-ups?
For you. Okay, here's a really good one. What kind of parents do you think you and Grant will be? Strict, fun, like your parents, etc.? IOY. IOY too. I've definitely kind of always thought that I was gonna be a more strict parent, but if I'm really real with myself, that's probably not true. I don't know. Obviously you don't know until you're in it, and I have never been in it. What do you think about us? How are we gonna be as parents?
I think you're gonna be a fun parent.
I will be?
Yeah.
Well, what are you gonna be?
I think I'll be the strict parent because you're gonna want to be the fun parent.
I think that you'll be fun, and I think you'll be relaxed and more of a calming force.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know how much enforcement you would do either, though. I think we are both sort of loosey-goosey, and at the end of the day, we both kind of want to have fun. But obviously, we want to do what's in the best interest for our kid and for our family and for everyone to be happy and healthy and, you know, not messing up our lives.
We want to have good kids too. So
we do, of course. You want to have good kids because you want to like your kids, you know? But at the same time, again, I have to say, I've never done it. You can't make a judgment about what it's like to be a parent until you are one, I'm sure.
That's true.
All right, let's move on. Because we honestly don't know the answer to this. Oh, here's one about Grant. But I'm gonna wait until Grant has gone to answer it. Okay, here's one. Are you worried about Luna and a new baby? Has she been around babies yet? Well, honestly, I am a little concerned, but at the same time, I do think it's just something we're gonna have to deal with when it happens. And I'm sure every dog owner that has a baby has to deal with it in the same way. Luna has been around really little kids before, and she's okay with it until it becomes like a little kid chasing her, trying to pet her or trying to pick her up. And then she gets really protective and scared and growly and not okay, which is the part that makes me kind of worried. But I don't know, I still feel pretty positive about it. I feel like we'll be able to make it work and keep everyone happy in the family, including Luna. And obviously, above all else, you want your baby to be safe, your little kid to be safe. So that is the priority. And we'll just have to see how it goes, because Luna is very much an only child. Even though I did say I want another dog, she definitely has an only child energy. She loves to soak up the attention. Her favorite spot in the entire universe is squished between me and Grant. Like, if there's anything she can do to get into a spot where she's physically squished between us, that's all she wants, and she will stay there until we move. Ooh, my eyebrow. Got a little on the eyebrow here. My hair feels very wet and squishy. If I've learned anything from Brad Mondo, it is to make sure the hair is super, super saturated. And also to not do it with your hands, but we only had one brush. knew you were gonna be so good at hair coloring. He was hoping I was like, I might need to get some help from you to do the back of my head. And I did not anticipate this. This is a wonderful development in my life.
I like doing projects. I like working with my hands.
Okay, let's do another question. I got kind of distracted. Key advice for the first year of marriage. This is a hard question. I'd say patience, which is something I am not strong in, but Grant is. And I definitely still have a lot to learn. We are almost on our 3rd year of marriage, which seems crazy. It feels like it's gone by so fast. I feel like I just met you.
You feel like I just met me?
No, not really. Not like I just met you, but it just feels like it's all gone by so quickly.
Yeah.
I guess because we've made so many big changes.
That's true. A lot of big life changes early on into our marriage, which that was tough.
Yeah, that definitely did not make it easier. So I think another piece of advice that might not make sense to some people, but it definitely makes sense to me. If you're in an argument or if you're feeling slighted, if you feel like the other person is doing something wrong, one of the best things that you can do, and it doesn't apply to every situation, obviously. If you're like in a Lifetime movie situation, obviously this does not apply. Dateline, certainly. If you're in one of those situations, this does not apply, but it helps to at least have the moment and have the thought, am I being selfish? Is there some way that I'm being selfish right now? And since you can't really control what the other person is doing, you can control what you're doing. Maybe you can try to look at that before you get really upset with them or get angry at them and try to work on what they're doing. You know, obviously approach every issue, bring everything up, get it out into the light. That definitely needs to happen. Huge fan of that. I always do that. Pretty much can't not do that, but it's always a good idea to look at yourself too. I am definitely not perfect at this, but this is advice that I got from my mother before I got married, and I feel like it's very good advice.
I think to echo your sentiment, ask yourself, am I being a good partner?
Yeah.
And I think if you ask yourself that, then a lot of those issues will kind of resolve themselves.
Yeah, we've been through a lot, but there's definitely a lot more to go through. But that is one thing we both definitely believe to be true. Wow.
Friend, I think you're good to go.
Thank you so much for helping me so much.
It'll be $200.
I'll put it in the mail. I'm just gonna try to ball it up on my head, put in a little clip. Y'all, I was not expecting him to help me that much, and I'm so happy. That was so sweet. I love him. I'm gonna take off these gloves. Is this a mistake? Got some saran wrap because I don't have a cap. I don't know if I got enough. I thought I got plenty. Didn't quite get enough to cover the very back of my hair, but hopefully this is enough to trap some heat and help the color develop more. And it also looks really cute. Do you want a saran wrap hat?
No, I don't.
Okay, now that all my questions are covered in pink hair dye, let's work around it and do some more questions. Tips for making app dating more successful. It's a struggle. Okay, so Grant and I met on an app. We met on Tinder, and obviously it's working out. I actually have a really good friend that she met her husband on Tinder also, so it can happen. The proof is here. It is me. I am the proof. Since I got a version of this question so many times, I actually stopped and wrote down a few points, and I have 3. Number 1, don't let it stress you out. Take it easy. Make it fun. Don't approach it like it's a job. Like you don't have to do this, and it's all up to you. You have control. It's not anybody else's thing but yours. Second, pick it up and put it down. If it's stressing you out, if it feels like a job, if it's something you don't want to deal with, don't deal with it. I used to like to say that my dating apps on my phone were the only games that I had. And that's basically my whole attitude toward it. Obviously, I did take it seriously to the point where I found Grant. I didn't go on dates with people that I didn't take seriously or look at as a potential partner, but it wasn't something that I felt forced to do. I had fun with it, and when it wasn't fun, I put it down and I forgot about it, and it wasn't a big deal, and when I was bored again, I went back to it. And the last thing is definitely not like a rigid rule, but I'd say text and message and go back and forth just on your phone for a while. take it kind of slow. Grant and I talked for at least 3 weeks. I was traveling a lot during those 3 weeks, so we didn't really have a good moment to meet up. But when we finally did, we had been talking for almost a month. We were pretty much talking every day, kind of all day. And going into it, we already knew that we really enjoyed talking to each other. We already had jokes going, and we knew that we were gonna have fun once we finally met. And once we finally met, we did have a really good time, and we sat there and talked for like 3-4 hours, and it was really amazing. But at the same time, if the timing feels right to you and you just started talking to this person a day or two ago, go for it. I've done that too. But I do think it's a valuable thing to slow down, really evaluate the situation. Don't go out with anybody or meet up with somebody if you don't really feel like, I gotta meet this person. Value yourself, value your time, and know that you're in control more than anything. Okay, I also got this question a few times. Do you have a baby name list going? When have I not had a baby name list going? I seriously think I've been collecting names since I was in elementary school. Not that I was trying to be a mom in elementary school, but I've always loved names and always wanted to remember my favorite names for my future children, because I've always known that I was gonna be a mom and I've always wanted to be a mom. I've pretty much never not had a name list going, and Grant and I have talked about names we like. We've narrowed down a few, and I'm definitely looking forward to the day where we can do a video like names we love but we're not using. I've watched so many of those videos. I don't know why, I just love them. And once you start watching them, YouTube recommends so many of them, and I've watched like 1,000. Okay, we're sitting by the bathtub. I'm tired of standing up. Also, I feel like this question might take me a minute. So, talk about your experience with lupus. I'm meeting a rheumatologist to start testing. So I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry that lupus is on the table. I hope you're okay. I hope you're managing your symptoms okay so far, but it's good that you're going in and getting tested. So for me, I feel like I had some symptoms start popping up when I was in high school, but obviously I did not recognize it as lupus. I had no idea what lupus was, and they were small enough and manageable enough that I wasn't really bothered by it, but it was something that I noticed. Like I would have skin splotches, like kind of like a rash, but it wasn't anything that was painful or itchy, pop up when I was out in the sun, but it would go away. So I was just like, my skin is sensitive, whatever. But in my freshman year of college, I started to get the skin redness, the butterfly rash on my cheeks really severely. And before that, I never really wore makeup, or at least I didn't wear makeup on my skin, like foundation, concealer, all of that stuff. Like if I had a zit, I would try to cover it up, but I was never a foundation girl. And that's actually how I got into makeup, oddly. I started wearing mineral powder foundation just to try to cover up this really red rash I had on my face. And I didn't know what was causing it. Again, I had no idea what lupus was. But it was really concerning to me. And I can't remember when I started bringing it up with my parents, but on one trip home to see my family, we actually went to a doctor. We went to a dermatologist because it was just this red rash on my cheeks. Something I'd never had before. I'd never really struggled with skin issues before. So we went to a dermatologist and they weren't really sure what it was. And they just gave me a couple tips of like use really gentle skin products. Don't use really hot water on your face, like stuff like that. Stuff that really was not very helpful, and they didn't realize it was lupus. Eventually later, I brought it up with my primary care doctor, and she actually did a round of tests to see if it was lupus or if it was something autoimmune, and it came back saying it probably was. And then I went to a doctor downtown in the medical center in Houston, and it was confirmed. And this whole diagnosis process took a while. I would say it took probably a year in all, just going to a bunch of different doctors and waiting and seeing. And I was in school at the time and everything. And eventually I did get the subacute cutaneous lupus diagnosis, and I started taking Plaquenil. It's an anti-malarial drug, and it also works for lupus. And I've been really lucky that it helps me manage almost all of my symptoms. I still have different things pop up here and there. More than anything, I have to stay out of the sun. And also, it seems to bother me when I switch from super hot temperatures to super cold temperatures. It's all mainly in the skin, and also my hands and my joints on my hands. So I have a weird variety of symptoms, but I'm pretty sure everyone that has lupus has that, but I do mainly have the classic subacute cutaneous lupus. So again, I really hope you have good luck with your test with your rheumatologist. I hope you have a good doctor on your side, and I hope you find a good treatment for your symptoms. Okay, let's go in a different direction. Let's talk about Luna again, everyone's favorite subject. Luna! Let's see if she'll come in here. Oh, she's sitting on her bed. Luna, come here. Let's see if she'll come in here for the question. There's a tripod, so I don't know. Come here, baby Lou. That's my girl. She's really nervous. Are you okay? This baby. She is everything to me. I love Luna so much. Let me read you the question. Luna, let's talk about Luna Bean. Do you know how Luna lost her leg? I don't know if I've ever talked about this. I feel like I did in the adoption video. I adopted Luna from the SPCA in Houston, and when I adopted her, she had already lost her back leg, and they had actually just done it. You okay? I don't know if she's into the situation. Let's let her go. She just really does not like tripods. I don't know what it is. She is just very picky about what she likes and what she doesn't like, and tripods have just always been on the bad list. I don't know why. I think they're just like too tall. So when I adopted Luna, they had actually taken off her leg less than a week earlier, but it was just shortly after I adopted her, I had to bring her back and get the staples taken out of her incision because she was fresh out of surgery. And the only thing that they told me was that she was brought in with an injury to that leg and they couldn't fix it. So I'm just guessing that maybe she had that injury for a while and she was out on the street and she wasn't using it, so they just figured she probably doesn't need it. I've heard from multiple people that dogs are pretty much okay if they lose one of their back legs. It's just when it's one of their front legs, it can be a little bit more difficult for them. Since I met her, she hasn't really seemed to miss that leg. She's always gotten around perfectly fine. When we meet people out in the world, she's moving around so fast, it usually takes at least a few minutes before they actually realize. And they're like, whoa, I didn't even realize she was missing one of her back legs, just because she moves around so easily without it. I mean, obviously sometimes things happen and you can see where she is struggling a little bit, but she really does so well. And I just love her so much. And you guys know that, I don't even have to say that, but I just feel like we have like a connection. And I just feel like she needed me and I needed her, and that is my baby. You know, I'm sure everybody with a pet feels like that, but I got so lucky to find her and I love her so much. So basically, to answer your question, I don't know how she lost her leg and I don't know very much about her past. They estimated that she was about a year old when I adopted her, but I don't know if that's a good estimate. I don't know how they find out those estimates, but that's what they told me and that's what we go off of. Okay, I can tell on my little screen here that this saran wrap is slowly but surely leaving the building and my bun is drifting down my head, and I really want to add a little bit of heat before I have to rinse it out, and it's almost time. Okay, the time is now. I really like it. My hair feels so soft and nice from that intense conditioning treatment. It's definitely been a long time, probably years, since my hair has gotten that long of a conditioning treatment. So I feel like my hair is very happy right now, and I'm really liking this shade of pink. It is definitely very flamingo to me, and what's weird is I feel like it's bringing out the brown even more, which is cute. I think this is cool. I can't stop messing with it because it feels so soft and nice, and I just love seeing all the different shades of pink that I have, because obviously I had highlights that were lighter and darker, and then I have my little brown pieces in here. So every strand pretty much took the pink slightly different, so there's a lot of like different tones throughout my hair. I really like it, and I really like it straight, but there were a few of you that mentioned on Instagram that you really wanted to see how I've been doing my hair lately. I've been doing it in like a really loose kind of lived-in wave, and so I figured I'd just throw that into this video and do some waves on my new pink hair. I think I was meant to be pink. I'm really happy. Okay, so we're just gonna run through this really quick. I'm gonna use my texturizing spray and my teasing comb just to add a little bit of volume, because I definitely don't have any at this point. right, so I've got some volume. I sectioned off the top and now I'm gonna grab my waver. This is the one that I've been using lately, but I've been using it with a very light touch. I'll show you what I mean because this waver can create some very serious, almost like crimpy waves. So I just do it ever so lightly. And the main reason why I actually section off my hair is just so I don't miss any pieces. I actually really like to do this very haphazardly, and I kind of switch directions of the waver as I go because I don't like it to be very, very perfect waves that all fit together. All right, I just flipped over my waver and I'm just going through with really quick clamps. So it adds a wave, but it's not a super serious angled wave, you know what I mean? Because this one can definitely make that happen for you if you want that look. This look is really, really easy to do, and it's super fast, and it lasts me a good 3 days. Yes, it does get frizzier and frizzier and also flatter, but I like the look. It looks very lived in and almost natural. I won't say it looks natural, but I like it. Big hair is in the building. This is what it looks like when I'm done with my waver. It always comes out a little bit different, and I like that, and it's definitely very different this time. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more of my texturizing spray. All right, I usually put this side behind my ear, and I'm always trying to get like the perfect swoop on this side. Today, it's not really working for me, but this is the finished look. It's super easy. I will link everything that I used in the description down below if you're curious. Definitely subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed. And if you are subscribed, thank you so much. You are my people, and I love you. You can also find me on social media everywhere. It's LeighAnnSays, and I love talking to you guys over there. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everyone. Strawberry milk hair. You ready for a pink wife?
Yeah.
I sit on the floor. Is that weird? I mean, I know it's weird, but we're gonna try it. All right, I got some on my neck piece over here.
You need a question?
I need a new question. Can I pet that dog?